Hey everyone, John here, and welcome back to the Toy Box. How are you guys doing today? I hope you're having a great day and a great weekend. And I hope that you're ready to see some Sitting Cuties plushes. Today we're going to look at the final evolutions of the Johto starter Pokemon. We have the Pokémon Center Meganium, Typhlosion, and Feraligatr Sitting Cuties plushes. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. We're going to start things off with our grass type Meganium. Like Venusaur before it, Meganium seems to be a combination of a reptile and a plant. With its long neck, it always looked like a sauropod dinosaur to me. The large petals around its neck and the stamen-like antenna on its head make its body look more plant-like as well. Meganium also has the ability to revive dead plants or sick plants with its breath. I've always loved this ability. Now, sauropod dinosaurs, which Meganium resembles, were huge and they ate tons and tons of food per day. Now with this kind of ability, these creatures would be able to instantly revitalize the plants and trees that they feed on. Now let's take a look at the plush. First, Meganium passes the standing test. That means it could stand on its own without any assistance from the wall or any other objects. Now overall, the colors and scaling of this plush are very good and match how the Pokemon looks in the games. Now let's take a closer look at the details. So first we're going to go ahead and look at Meganium's head. So we have the eyes embroidered here, and we also have the mouth right here. We have the nose, and then the main thing to pay attention to in the head are these antennae. So there's a couple of things. The first is that the antennae are also flexible, just like the antenna was flexible for Bayleaf. And another thing is that with the size of these antennae, we can tell that this is a female Meganium. So since the male has longer antennae. So that's cool. Let's take a look at the neck. So here it is, the neck of the sauropod dinosaur. And then we have the pink petals, which form the flower around its neck. Now, the petals here are kind of wild. I think it's because they are built overlapping each other here. So we have these three petals here on the bottom that just have the pink and the white lining. So these three are built on the bottom. And then the three on top that alternate, though they have this yellow marking here with the white border. They kind of sit on top of the other petals, as you can see here. So they will tend to go up a lot. So it adds a bit of a 3D effect, but if you leave it alone, at least if I leave mine alone for too long, the petals will go pretty wild like this. I don't think it's really a bad thing. I think it's pretty cool, but that really depends on your tastes. Now the legs, you can see the legs right here. It's in a sitting position, so sometimes I forget that they're sitting cuties, so I say, the legs are in an odd position, but this is how it would look sitting. So let's take a look at the front. You can see each of the legs here has 3 claws at the end. You can see this one. Here is the second leg. Then here are the back legs. Right here. We can see Meganium's body here. The stuffing is pretty soft, so it's one of the softer sitting cuties. And then we have the pellets right here in the back, near the back legs around the tail. And then here you can see the tail. And lastly, we have the tags. Now these are the old style tags because I was able to get Meganium pretty early. So I guess because it's not as popular as the other Johto starters, but I was able to get Meganium pretty early, so I still have the old style tag. And then here are the 3 tail tags. So, that is Meganium. Now we're going to take a look at our next starter, the fire type Typhlosion. Now we have Typhlosion. Typhlosion is my favorite of the Johto starters. The Cyndaquil line can be best described as fire weasels. Typhlosion resembles a weasel or the larger honey badger. It's very fast, very skinny, and it can twist around if it needs to. Now, the fire typing is where it gets interesting. Typhlosion is the volcano Pokemon and is said to be very explosive. Now, honey badgers would normally try to run away if they are attacked, but when cornered, they can be very aggressive. According to the Pokédex, Typhlosion can hide itself using the flames around its neck. I can also see it using those flames to make itself look bigger to discourage predators, and I can also see it using its flame to unleash devastating attacks like Eruption if it's cornered. Let's take a look at the plush. Now, Typhlosion passes the standing test with an asterisk. Its bottom is very round, so if you want it to stand, then you need to flatten it a little bit. If not, it's going to roll around. Now, the colors and scaling of the plush are very good overall. I'm glad they included the flames here. I don't think the plush would look as good without them. Now, as far as firmness goes, Typhlosion is about a medium firmness, which is typical for the Sitting Cuties. Now, let's take a closer look at the details. So we'll start off with the head. Typhlosion's eyes are embroidered. Now, we have the nose right here. The mouth is sewn in. You can barely see it right here. We have ears in the back. And then now looking at the neck, we can see the flames. This is the biggest detail for this plush. We have some fur right here along the edge. And then the flames themselves are stuffed very firmly. So not like the rest of the plush. And they are very furry as well, so it's a different texture than the rest of the plush. You can see the flames on the other side right here. Now, Typhlosion's arms are pretty skinny, and you can see here that they have fingers sewn in. Here's the other arm. And its legs are also very skinny too, and we can see the toes sewn in right here. Here's the other leg. Now the body has two main colors, this bluish green, more on the blue side, kind of dark. And then we have the yellow side right here on the belly. Now the pellets are right here on the bottom, right next to the bottom legs. And you can see right here, when I was squeezing it, the bottom rounded out. So I can show you. It's kind of harder for him to stand. He'll lurch forward a little bit like this with this rounded. So if you want him to stand, you gotta flatten him out a little bit. And there you go. Typhlosion stands straight up. Now, lastly, we can look at the tags. So we have... This is the older style tag, but it's bigger than the other ones. So I'm thinking that this is not the oldest style tag, not the first style. It's more like maybe a second style before they went to the rectangular tags. I wasn't able to get Typhlosion right away, so I had to wait a bit for this one. So I think this is probably more like a second round where they changed the tags. And just for a comparison, you can see Meganiums again. You can just see the difference right here and the size of the tag. So I think it's just the batch that was produced in. So there's one, and then here are tail tags. And there we go. That is it for Typhlosion. So we have one more starter left. Let's take a look at the water type starter, Feraligatr. Lastly, we have Feraligatr. Feraligatr is easily the most aggressive of all the Johto starters, being based on alligators. Its Pokédex entries talk about it savagely tearing its prey apart, as well as being an ambush predator. These behaviors match crocodilians perfectly. Now, I'll mention one thing that's annoyed me about this Pokemon since day one, and that's the spelling of its name. So as you can see, Feraligatr is spelled like this. We have feral, could stand for ferocious or just a wild animal, F-E-R-A-L, and then alligator, or the last part being I-G-A-T-R. So the part that annoys me about this is that this last part, gator, should have an O right here between the T and the R. But I get it. When these Pokemon came out in Gold and Silver, there was a limitation of 10 characters for the name. So in order to keep the name the way it is, I guess with making the least amount of impact to it, they took out the O. Now, I get that it's too late to change it now since it's been established for about 20 years and almost 7 generations, but yeah, that kind of annoys me even to this day. But whatever. Let's take a look at the plush. So, Feraligatr passes the standing test easily. Its scaling and colors are also very good and match how the Pokemon looks in the game. You would think an aggressive Pokemon like Feraligatr would be very firm, but no, it's very soft. This plush is actually as soft as Meganium, so that's pretty nice. Now, this plush is also my favorite out of the 3 Johto Final starters because of the number of details on this Pokemon. Let's take a look at them closely. So first, we'll take a look at the head. We have the nice crocodile-shaped head. We have the embroidered eyes. The teeth are sewn in right here. You can see them from the side that they stick out. You can see them on the other side. We have the nostrils right here. We have the yellow underside of the jaw. And then we have these spikes on here. Now these spikes actually, when you press them, they're dual layers, so when you press them, they feel like there's air in them, which is a pretty nice texture. I like that a lot. Now, next we'll take a look at the arms. Now the arms have a lot of details in them as well. We have these bumps right here, these rectangles that go up and down. So we have these 4 right here, and Feraligatr has 4 fingers with a claw at the end of each finger. And here you can see the other arm, so you can see this at a different angle. And now we can look at the legs. Now the legs have a rectangular bump here. There's one on the side right here. And then we have 3 claws at the end of the foot. And you can see the other side right here. Now moving on to the body. There are a lot of little details on the body. So first we have this stripe that goes right here that resembles an alligator. We have these bumps that go along the side of the Pokemon. You can see them here. And then we have more spikes coming up. These are the same texture as the ones in the head. And then we have the pellets, which are located around the belly, along where the yellow stripe is. So this is where the plush balances out. And then we have the tail. The tail is pretty soft also, and it has these spikes on top. So you can see it from all angles. And lastly, we have the tag. So this is the plush that I had the hardest time getting. So I had to wait for a long time before I could get it. So I have the new style tag on it. So here it is. And here are the 3 tags. So there we have it. That is Feraligatr, and that is our last starter. So let's go ahead and bring our 3 starters back together. Well, we looked at the Pokémon Center Meganium, Typhlosion, and Feraligatr Sitting Cuties Plushes. I love this set of starters. It's like we have a full spectrum of aggression here. Meganium on this side is super peaceful, Typhlosion is in the middle, and where it fights where it needs to, and then Feraligatr is just fighting all the time. So coincidentally, or maybe not so, it seemed to correlate with the difficulty level in Gold and Silver. My friends and I would play all the time, and we always said Chikorita is hard mode, Cyndaquil is normal mode, and Totodile is easy mode. Well anyways, what do you guys think of these plushes? Which one is your favorite? Let me know in the comments. If you're interested in these Pokemon, I'll put links to Pokémon Center in the description. At the time of filming, they're going for $10.99 each. Well, that's all I have for you guys this week. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, rate, subscribe, and don't stop playing.